Alderman Putoff. Ferrari. Here. Waldorf. Lukosius. Perez. Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Mayor Harrell.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Attorney and I are investigating actions to be taken against the accusations, defamatory and slanderous in nature. And at this time, I have nothing further to say regarding this case that has been closed. Is there any presentation?
No, Your Honor.
Public comment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion to receive the minutes and place on file.
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Foster and Alderman Waller to receive the minutes and place on file as a regular session. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
We have a motion to receive the reports and place on file.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor. Aye.
Yes, Your Honor, I had disbursements for September 10th, 2014. Total disbursements are $1,007,533.65. I move that we accept this report, place it on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner.
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Your Honor, we have the approved fire department report for a period ending August 30th, 2014. I'll make a motion we accept this report and place it on file.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Carson, Alderman Press, to receive the fire department and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
I have the Approved Volunteer Ambulance Service Activity Summary for August 2014. Approved Volunteer Ambulance responded to 230 patient calls during the month of August. Total miles logged was 10,409. I'd like to make a motion to accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor. Aye.
Your Honor, tonight we also have a motion to allocate $25,000 for the Route 6 Peru Economic Development Program. That would be a commercial building improvement plan. That will be for $25,000 for this fiscal year.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Carson, Alderman Radke, to allocate $25,000 for the Route 6 Association Commercial Building Improvement Program. Any discussion?
Your Honor, what it will be is, for some time we've made a lot of discussions on how we can bring our downtown to bringing more and more people in to shop and more people to use the commercial services. And one of the things we wanted to do is to help facilitate that with $25,000 from the budget. And what this will go towards is Route 6, the entire Route 6 for commercial building improvement. And what it will be is anything with painting, awning, signage, windows, signage, tuck pointing, landscaping, decorative lighting, or decorative fencing. All of those would be eligible to meet through the Administrative Services Manager, would designate the grant. Each individual or each business would have up to $2,500 of the dollars for the program, and they would have to match that sum for a total of $5,000. So that's our first year idea of how we're looking towards the Route 6 capital building improvement plan, and hopefully people will take interest in it and add a little to our downtown.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
That's all we have. Gentlemen, anything else on finance we should touch on? Okay, thank you.
Public Services Chairman Alderman Waller.
Tonight I have the electric financial report for July 2014, and during this period we showed revenues over expenditures in the amount of $332,618.74. I'd like to make a motion that we accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive electric financial and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have the City of Peru Electric Department monthly operations report for July 2014. And during this period, total kilowatt hours sold for the month was resulted in charges for $2,405,000, $2,405,254.14. We avoided purchasing $45,585.28 worth of power due to the hydro generation. I'd like to make a motion we accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive electric operations report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, next we have the City of Peru Revenue and Expense Report for the Water and Sewer Fund as of July 31st, 2014. In this current period, we show revenues under expenses of $185,561.27. I'd like to make a motion that we receive this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive water financial report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize Human Resources to seek applicants for the vacant position of Administrative Assistant in the Public Services Department.
I'll second it. Have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Sapienza, to authorize Human Resource to seek applications for the vacant position of Administrative Assistant in the Public Services Department. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to award the 28th Street sanitary sewer improvement to Opperman Construction in the amount of $109,280.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Waldorf, to award 28th Street sanitary sewer improvements to Opperman Construction in the amount of $109,280. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, could we just get an update here from Eric or Mike and specifically what's going to be done there? The 28th sewer project will include the removal of the existing 8-inch sewer, which is at minimum grade from the intersection of Depot Drive and 28th Street over to Marquette, with a 15-inch sewer that actually will be deeper and at a steeper, higher capacity pitch to provide basically capacity for 3 8-inch sewers coming into that manhole, more excess capacity basically to get it over to the Marquette sewer. Since we got a consensus from the council on this matter at your last meeting, we actually have contracts with the clerk today, fully signed, bonded, ready to go with the contractor. So Eric Carls and I have met with the contractor. We anticipate a pre-construction meeting this week with construction as early as next week to begin.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to award the Meadow Lawn Lane Sanitary Sewer Improvement to Opperman Construction, also the lowest bidder, in the amount of $120,597.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Mueller, toward the Meadow Lawn Lane sanitary sewer improvements to Opperman Construction, the amount of $120,597.00. Is there any discussion?
Mike, would you update again, please? This project was budgeted for $150,000, and so we are under budget. We were right at the engineer's estimate for this work. The sanitary sewer, the existing 12-inch sewer that starts at Sunset and runs south down Meadow Lawn, eventually through Shooting Park down to the ravine sewer there south of Centennial Park, has about 150 to 180 foot sag between the manhole at Sunset and Meadow Lawn and the first manhole directly south. What we're going to actually do is add a manhole and build a new 12-inch sewer parallel to the sewer at the proper grade without the 10-inch sag in that sewer to basically restore the capacity of that pipe. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Mueller, to award the Meadow Lawn Lane sewer improvements to Opperman Construction for $125,597.00.
Actually, it's 120.
$120,597.00. Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
I didn't get it in, but I just want to thank the committee and the engineering people for both of those projects, because I know the residents in there will be very, very appreciative. So.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the mayor and the city clerk to execute an engineering services agreement with Chamlin and Associates for the Peoria Street improvements year 2015, Phase 2. This will be 13th Street to 10th Street.
I'll second that.
I have a motion for Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Sapienza, to authorize an engineering service agreement with Chamlin Associates for the Peoria Street improvements 2015 Phase 2, 13th Street to 10th Street. Is there any discussion?
How about an explanation on that?
Yeah, so this is just moving forward with the improvements that we're doing to Peoria from Shooting Park to Route 6. Obviously, kind of explanatory with what we have here. It's the second phase of it, be much like the first, anticipating similar costs.
And that's where you're looking at comparisons for concrete as opposed to asphalt?
That's correct. With this first bid that comes Wednesday, we'll be able to tell where we're at and then project that over the period of improvement to see if there's any significant cost savings between the two.
Okay, if there's no...
I just wanted to say that it was kind of timely. If anybody saw the Chicago Tribune this morning, it said, as gas tax evaporates, roads suffer, was the headline. And, you know, you look around Peru, and the gist of the article is that the state of Illinois has lost about 30% of the road funding as people start driving more energy-efficient cars and electric cars, and people are using less gasoline. And, you know, the interesting thing to me was that I think Peru are going to do over $1 million in road this year, and I would not say that this has had any impact whatsoever on the amount of road work that we've done. So I think it's important to kind of note that, you know, we're not stopped by some of these other things that are going on in the background.
Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, I was corrected. It's almost $2 million according to Administrative Services Manager Doug Burnaby.
And over $4 million of infrastructure projects in general.
Okay, we'll have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize City Engineer Eric Carls, assisted by Chamlin and Associates, to conduct a traffic study for the Plank Road corridor for part of a comprehensive planning.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Waldorf, to authorize City Engineer Eric Carls, assisted by Chamlin Associates, to conduct traffic study for the Plank Road corridor for part of comprehensive planning. Is there any discussion?
Eric, if, just to follow suit here, could you give us an update on that?
Yeah, a brief update on what we're looking at here, the reason for the traffic study, with the potential to really have some development north of 80 in the upcoming years. We want to be ahead of the ball game and decide if any improvements there warrant turning lanes, et cetera, with the increased traffic volumes. The reason we'd be assisted by Chamlin in this is that they have certain programs that we don't have in-house that need to be utilized in order to complete the study.
Thank you.
Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari. Aye. Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
That is all we have from Public Services, Your Honor.
Okay, report city attorney, ordinances, resolutions.
Your Honor. I'll make a motion to accept the resolution as written and read. I don't think your mic's working, Doug.
Do I have a second?
Second, Your Honor.
A motion from Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Putoff, to receive the resolution as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Application remains pending. Whereas the city has been impressed by the expertise, transparency, and business production safety and security plans of the respective applicants who have made presentations of the city, and the city enthusiastically supports and encourages the location of a cultivation center in the city. City believes in the best interest of public health, safety, and welfare to defer to the expertise of the Department of Agriculture and determine successful applicants without the city specifically endorsing any one applicant. Now therefore be it resolved, the city enthusiastically supports the establishment of a cultivation center within the city and encourages the Department of Agriculture to permit an applicant with a situs in the city. City acknowledges and defers to the expertise of the Department of Agriculture to determine successful applicants without specific endorsement by the city, but the city does endorse all applicants who have received special use zoning approval by the city. Interestingly, the gentleman that spoke at the meeting at Covenant at the committee as a whole, the one gentleman is a finance person, but he's studied different states, and he says it takes a minimum investment of $7.5 million, preferably $8 to $10 million for both capital and operating expenses, because they will not turn a profit in the bottom line until year 3 by all their projections. So.
I think the important point is that we as a council have sound soundproof that the business is legitimate and that we would like to welcome those who've been approved by the Planning Commission and the City Council to open business in the City of Peru.
Absolutely, and any of these would be a great electric user for the city, and you know, the area needs jobs, so hopefully it'll happen.
Okay. Do we have a motion to receive the resolution as written and read?
So moved, John.
Second, John.
I have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive the resolution as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari. Aye. Waldorf.
Aye.
Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Present.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. I've got to mention there was an open forum on Wednesday, August 27th, saying that the City of Peru has been choosing who to come in here for us to listen to. Everybody that's asked to present has been given the opportunity to present. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why, but everyone that is asked has been given that opportunity. So just so that everyone is aware of that.
So it's good to have the facts out there. That letter was written without the facts, and it's good now that the facts are out there for public consumption.
That's correct. This is number 6 that we've had tonight. We'll be reading their letter, file, and turning over the Plan Commission. And once again, everybody that has asked has been afforded that opportunity.
The hearing on the one tonight.
As I understand it, the deadline for applications was September 22nd, or does that get extended?
Okay, we're going to go into unfinished business. When I read my statement at the beginning of the meeting, I failed to key the mic because it was on press to mute, and I pressed it so it was muted, so I wanted to make sure that it's on the microphone. So I will read it again. My attorney received a phone call last Friday, September 5th, 2014, at approximately 2:30 in the afternoon. My attorney was informed that no criminal activity, no wrongdoing, or personal gain on the part of his client, Mayor Harrell, and thus the file has been closed to any further investigation. At this time, my attorney and I are investigating action to be taken against the accusations defamatory and slanderous in nature. And I'll once again say that I have nothing further to say regarding this case that has been closed, but this time the mic was open, so we'll move on to unfinished business, review of public comment policy. Do we have anything?
I put out in the packets this time the policy that we've had on the in the bookshelves for some months here, the guideline that we've been following. Basically, the two options for public comment prior to the meeting. We ask that in order to speak prior to the meeting, you're speaking on a topic on the agenda so that anybody might be afforded the opportunity to give their opinion prior to the alderman voting. And then the public comment option at the end of the meeting. Obviously, at that point, you're welcome to come up and comment on any city business or yard dumping related business at that time. And there's some parameters with regard to the time frame and whether or not the aldermen at their pleasure can afford people extra time or special circumstances. So we need to get it into ordinance form. I think corporate counsel reported on a couple of cases that you could go over again.
the only thing that I'd like to look at, in addition to this, is I think public comment should be, public comment. And if we're gonna have presentations from vendors or suppliers or, somebody wants to come and give a presentation to City Council, I think that really should fall under some other policy other than this, if that's possible. And the reason I say that is, if you bring somebody into the city that wants to sell the city trucks, well then you have to let the next company and the next company, so you're being fair to everybody to let them do that. I think we've had issues, we've had sometimes in the past where we get these presentations that are brought to the council that are really not, in my opinion, public comment. They're a different source, and I don't know if we can differentiate between the two in the policy or not.
How about if we have that they go in front of committee first?
Would be ideal. If people are going to present to the council, try to sell us something or try to promote something, we should have them go to the committee where we can discuss that.
Well, you must afford the opportunity to speak in a public meeting. And then you can refer it to the committees if you want, or just let the public comment be a public comment, and then you can let whoever it is know where the best place to start would be. But you must. It's not required that we do it at the beginning and the end, but any public meeting you must give the opportunity.
And it goes for committee meetings, Your Honor, too. I think the statutes have said that in the past some cities have not had simple committee meetings where they've had public comment, but it's certainly the intention to make that available for the public. So if there are questions from anything from a recreation commission to a library board to a finance meeting, that's afforded, and I think that's positive in itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen really any times where somebody's coming up to give a 25-minute presentation, but I don't know if it's...
I agree. I haven't neither of them, but I have seen them in the Dollar Television.
Yeah,
especially in school board.
One public comment per, make sure that we're okay, one public comment per subject, 3 to 5 minutes, preferably.
3 to 5.
That's what most of my investigation has showed up from surrounding cities in the suburbs and elsewhere.
And it is public comment, not public question and answer, correct?
That's right. If there is any questions, we're glad to provide it, but not at that time, providing that's what the majority of the council agrees to when we have something in front of us. Okay, anything else on the public comment?
Yes, I'd like to make a statement thinking about what you brought up during unfinished business, and just to clarify, the call that I received from the FBI agent that's been on the payroll case, he specifically said that there was wrongdoing, but it didn't warrant any criminal charges, and it was pretty clear that he didn't see any further pursuing any criminal charges. So that's the conversation I had.
Okay, we're on motion to authorize legal action.
We haven't gone to that yet, but I'd certainly like to make a motion to authorize legal action against the property of 2123 13th Street improvement.
I'd like to second that.
A motion by Alderman Pop, second by Alderman Lukosius, to authorize legal action against the property of 2123 13th Street. Is there any discussion?
The home's been vacant for some time, Your Honor and Council, and there really hasn't been anything but continuing problems in that home, and hopefully we can come to some resolution. Jim's met with the neighbors on several occasions, and it has been a problem in the neighborhood, so we're hoping that this will be the first step in getting it resolved.
so they're probably in Texas too. Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, we'll take a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. Is there any further unfinished business? New business. I'm asking, okay.
The Cross Street property was torn down today too, so I just want to let you all know that. And they're going to be getting busy with the new foundation on that, but they were digging that this afternoon. So the house is down, so the apartment building's down. We're working on the foundation now. Thank you.
Okay, new business. I'm asking for a motion and a second for the appointment of Jim Spellich to the Plan Commission. Jim Spellich is replacing, we've had a few of them leave here lately, retiring commission member Janet Benvenuti. I don't have the date and how long Janet's been serving. It's been quite a while, and she said she decided it was time for her to, it's been a while, and it was time for her to retire from that. She enjoyed her time doing it, but she said it was time to pass the torch. So Jim Spellich was one that had come and put his name in when I asked for members for the retiring member Bob Harrington, and it worked out and had enough to fill all these positions. So I'd like a motion and a second for the appointment of Jim Spellich.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Mueller, to appoint Jim Spellich to the Plan Commission for retiring commission member Janet Benvenuti. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Okay, the next, as I mentioned before, retiring Bob Harrington. Bob Harrington was on the Plan Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals since 1992, and he said he felt that it was time for himself to go ahead and hang it up. Also, he did a very good job. He enjoyed what he was doing. He did it for quite a while, and he said it was time to move on. Kerry Miller is already on the Zoning Commission, and quite frankly, most of the towns that I'm looking at and talking to, they're starting to combine their planning and their zoning. I don't know why, but I know the city of Peoria just recently in the spring actually combined theirs. So we have a couple more crossing over. We have a few already, but we have a couple more crossing over. So the motion to appoint Kerry Miller, who's already on the zoning, to the Planning Commission for retiring Commissioner Bob Harrington. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Prokosius, to appoint Kerry Miller to Land Commission. Is there any discussion? I have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff. Aye. Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Okay, Bob Harrington was a busy guy. He was on planning and zoning, so I'm asking for a motion to appoint Ken Mullen, who is currently on the planning, to the Zoning Board of Appeals for retiring board member Bob Harrington.
Moved, Your Honor. Second.
Who made the second? I have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Perez, to appoint Ken Mullen to the Zoning Board of Appeals for retiring board member Bob Harrington. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Prokosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, before we move on, can we make sure we get a letter of appreciation out to all these retiring
Yes.
members, please?
Yes, there's been one sent to Bob Harrington already, and then one to Bill Stewart, which was a few weeks prior to that. And I haven't had a chance to make a copy for everyone to see it. So the motion for the alternate delegate, voting delegate for the IML 101st Annual Conference, does anybody want to raise their hand and be a alternate voting delegate? I'll be the voting delegate, and then looking for an alternate. If anybody wants to raise their hand and be one. Chances that you'll be voting are slim, but you never know.
Has to be an alderman that's attending the meeting. This is for the whole conference.
The whole conference?
It's just the whole conference should be voting on some procedures in the business meeting on Saturday. The business meeting should be. Just have to look at the schedule.
I will be.
Ma'am.
Make that 5 in the evening, Tony.
Okay, we have a motion for Alderman Ferrari to be an alternate delegate for the IML conference.
Is there swearing in or anything?
There's a lot of memorization prior to.
We should have Sapienza do that then, maybe.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll agree.
Motion carried.
Before we move on from new business, I would just like to thank Chief Burnaby and Chief King for their services this morning under very difficult circumstances. There was a very bad accident on 251, and I understand that the scene was not pretty, and sometimes their jobs can be very difficult, and they do it with the utmost professionalism, and we're lucky to have them, and our safety services are second to none. So thank you, gentlemen.
Anything else for new business?
Yes, Your Honor, I might want to mention on September 21st, 7 till noon is the fly-in breakfast at the airport. Correct? That's the correct date. 21st, 7 till noon.
Third Sunday. Okay, is there any proclamations?
Oh, Your Honor.
Petitions, communications?
Yes, the first communication is from Medicam LLC requesting a special use for a medical marijuana cultivation center for the property located at 3485 103rd Road, Peru.
We have a motion to receive the communication, placed on file, and turn it to the Plan Commission for review and recommendation.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication, placed on file, and turn to the Plan Commission for review and recommendation. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
The next communication is from LP School requesting permission to hold the annual LP Cavalier 5K Run Walk on Sunday, September 28th. I'd like to comment on the 5Ks. We've had a number of races this last summer. Most recently, the one from Ellie's, the Run for the Wreck. There's one coming up this week, and we've had another issue with paint on the pavement, and I don't think we're doing a good enough job, meaning the clerk's office isn't doing a good enough job of making them aware of the requirement that this markings are not permissible. I know in the case of the first one where we took issue, there were some extensive markings and promoting people to go in the right directions. In this particular case, they're just turn, paint, and mile markers, but it's still not permissible to use paint, so we're going to sort of tighten up a little bit to get the message out, because the message isn't getting out.
Is there a particular kind of paint that we could basically tell them if you want to have it, you have to use this particular paint?
Sometimes they use chalk, Mike, sometimes. I know the Y had purchased a number of signs, and they're available for any group that wants them, but you put them alongside the road, and it points you in the right direction. Chalk can work, too.
Signs are the best way to go, like Alderman Putoff said. I think Ellie's had signs. But I would also like to add to that these people that want and have these runs cannot rely on the police department
to cover all these intersections, and that they're gonna have to get volunteers to help with these intersections. I know I worked one Saturday and we didn't have enough people, and they're gonna have to get some volunteering going with us from now on.
I know in the case of the Run for the Wreck, we had multiple volunteers. I know there were 2 intersections that were covered by the police, but the rest of the intersections were covered by volunteers.
And I mean, we are paying overtime to have these police officers come out, and I'm glad they do it, but I think the event people need to start getting more help out there.
Would anybody entertain the city buying signs? And if, let's say that you authorize this LP Cavalier 5K run, they can come in and pick up the signs with right turn arrows, left turn arrows, straight arrows, whatnot, beginning, middle, and whatever you need. They can come in and write out a check for $100, and we'll return the check when they return the signs. It's not a money making, but that would be part of issuing the okay. But then we would, because up on 6th and Fulton, there's blue arrows all over, and we also have some water lines marked for some work that's going to be done there, and you don't know what's happening. Our guys that mark the water lines know what's going on, but it's not a good situation.
There needs to be some uniformity in all the runs.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting
signs or something like that. I think maybe the city does need to take the reins on this and say, you want to run, these are the rules.
Come on in.
We'll take a look at the cost of it, or find out what we would need and see what that would, I don't have a problem with that. And there's a lot of these things going on, more and more of these things all the time, so.
Right, if you need a dozen left arrows, dozen right, whatever, and we'll check some costs. All right.
I think it's a good idea, I just don't know how we're gonna stop.
Well, we'll just, when we give permission, like right now we're gonna give permission or not to LP Cavalier 5K run, they must come in, issue a $100 check, take the signs, no paint, no chalk, no nothing, the signs, and then return the signs, all of them, and then they receive their $100 check. If there's one that's damaged or destroyed, then we know a sign's worth X amount of dollars. We should look at, as part of our policy, to deduct that X amount of dollars. Well, that's something we should look at also. Could you come up with, what does it cost us? Chief, let us know, what did the last race cost us? We don't want to deter anybody from having this by any means. No, that's nobody's purpose, but we need to know what does it cost us if we have X amount of officers off duty that are on duty, so.
My concern would be if we stick volunteers out on the intersection and they get hit by a car, is that the city's responsibility?
Well, all of our volunteers are covered both under our municipal league coverage, and then we have additional volunteer coverage. I know it was a question that came up in case one of our elected officials were to get run over in the parking lot at the concerts for a cause.
That's why the city volunteers,
So,
no different than some of the plants.
Correct.
When these organizations, do they physically come to the clerk's office, or do they send you a letter, or how does that work?
Usually we get a letter or an email communication, and
Is there any way we can find out who the chairman of these events are? I'm sure each one has a chairman that we could.
Well, I mean, not unlike
concerns.
working on the policies for the park shelters. We can work on a policy for these sort of runs. I mean, there was a point where there's 2 of them a year on the city streets, and now there are 10 a summer, plus another half a dozen at Baker Lake.
We can work up a policy, that's for sure. Maybe even have an elected official run along on grades.
Tony.
You ready to do that?
Tony's the alternate. Okay,
I'll do something and get it to you.
Do we have a motion to receive the communication from LP on their Cavalier 5K run, placed on file and grant permission?
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication, place on file and grant permission, reminding about the the paint, and then with the other in mind as far as the signs for the future, we'll price them out.
Until we have a policy, I'll make note of
Right.
talk only.
Okay, all in favor signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried.
Next is a communication from LP High School requesting permission to hold the annual LP Homecoming Parade on Thursday, October 2nd, and to place no parking signs up. That'll be at 4 o'clock.
Do we have a motion to place on file and grant permission?
Second.
A motion from Alderman Radke, second from Alderman Ferrari, to receive the communication, place on file, and grant permission. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carried.
Finally, there's a communication from the Zoning Board of Appeals, Plan Commission, and the Design and Review Committee informing the council that they are creating an ad hoc committee to review and update the zoning ordinance.
Okay, they want to look over the zoning ordinance and possibly make some changes or not. I don't know when the last time it was reviewed. It was more than likely quite some time ago. And just as they did with the sign, but they're not asking for any moratoriums and anything. They just want to review it and throw out there.
The other thing we're looking into is not unlike the city ordinances, to codify, once the zoning ordinances have been up to date, codify them so it'll be easier for residents or anybody from outside the community to go into our website and search and find the regulations for zoning, because right now they're out there, but they're not easily accessible.
I think it's a great idea. I remember last time it was about 6 years it took to get that done, so it's a long process to do.
Do we need to grant permission, or what do we need?
We will. They wanted to make sure that the council was aware of it. We'll make a motion in a second and just approve it or not, just so that they realize they don't have any power of vote. It's an ad hoc committee. It's just power of suggestion.
Receive their letter and place it on file.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, the zoning code is really a blueprint for the city when you really start looking at what areas are business, commercial, manufacturing, residential. So it's a good activity to undertake, but it is a long activity to undertake.
And we have 3 licensed architects on the design review, and they've all raised their hand, and they're coming to this also. They have a pretty good group of people.
Yeah, we have really qualified people to do the work. You're right about that.
So do I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
I have Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Wheeler. Okay, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
No further communications, Your Honor.
Public comment. Do you have any public comment? Come on up.
I just want to bring you up to date on fundraising by Friends for Peru Pool. There are 2 things this month. The first one is this coming Saturday, September 13th. This is the last time for the races at the LaSalle Speedway. It's Fan Appreciation Night. It's only $5 admission, and we will be doing a 50-50 at that event. So if you enjoy that type of thing, or you know people who do, please send them out there, and they'll have enough money left over after admission in order to participate in the 50-50. The other thing is, if you live in Peru, which almost everyone here does, you're going to get in your city bill a sheet like this. And this is a promotion by Hy-Vee. It's taking place September 25th, 26th, and 27th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And all you have to do is cut these things apart and take the slip like this and just give it to the cashier when you check out. And it costs you nothing, but Hy-Vee will give 5% of what you have spent to the Friends for Peru Pool Fund. And this is just a wonderful way for us to add to the fund and work towards eventually a pool. We'd appreciate it if you know people who don't live in Peru, if you'd share the coupons you receive with them and encourage them to maybe do the big grocery shopping. We all buy groceries, so let's buy them on the 25th, 26th, and 27th. We appreciate everything you can do for this.
Thank you, Claudia.
Hey, Claudia.
I have a question for you. Before you walk away, will Hy-Vee allow you or one of your volunteers to stand out in front of Hy-Vee that day? They won't.
You know, Claudia, I have to give you a lot of credit. You sit through these meetings, hours of meetings, for the one issue that you believe deeply in full. And I think we appreciate it and give you a lot of compliments for doing that.
All right, is there any other public comment? We're on public comment. Is there any other public comment? Public comment. Closed session. Do we have any closed session? Anybody? Do we have a motion for adjournment? I have a motion from Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Lukosius for adjournment. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.